Over the past 12 episodes of my 1 hour art challenges, I explored a range of techniques, but the real reason I created them was to figure out my hang-ups and hopefully help us both find our creative voices. How could I be more intuitive in my art making? And mainly, how could I stop getting lost in the details? That's exactly what I'm here to share today, what I learned and the work that came out of it. In my previous episode 12, things did not go according to plan. These 1 hour story to art challenges rarely do, but last week was especially challenging for a few reasons, technical and otherwise. In the end, I did finish the art piece and the story behind it, which was sort of interesting, maybe a tad corny, but that's how it goes. For those new here, I'm 12 weeks into sharing my exercise using a timed stream of consciousness technique, which I was introduced to several years ago as a creative writing exercise. The whole idea here is to jump into the flow, trust your instincts, stop second-guessing yourself, and just make art. For me, a big part of that was breaking my habit of being too fiddly. It has always been my downfall. I can spend hours obsessing over tiny details, going around in circles, and completely losing the plot. And last week, I fell right back into the fiddly zone. So this week, I've decided to come back with a different approach. Same word prompts from last week, same spirit behind that story, but this time I'm letting loose and going abstract. No overthinking, no fiddling, just slapping on some leftover paint and random collage papers and letting go of any expectations or preconceived notions. So, this is episode 12, Abstracted. Let's see where it goes. So for this episode, I kept it as simple as possible. I pulled out a few pieces of my mixed media heavyweight paper that was already gessoed, grabbed my leftover paints from previous episodes, and that teal color, which I used in the background. I thought I should do a quick review of the word prompts from episode 12, but this time around I'll be pulling from the spirit of the visuals that I created in my artwork last week, using the words as a foundation or starting point and not taking them so literally. I then grabbed my box of leftover black and white collage papers. I used a little different format this time around. I took photos of my process instead of filming it, with the hopes that this would help me stay more in my creative zone and not be so distracted. Again, I didn't have a plan. I just grabbed whatever came out of the box first and took it from there. Here I've begun to glue down some collage papers, forming some kind of a enclosure like a portal, and put that circle in the middle. Not sure if it's a moon or a portal, but we'll see what it turns into. So here I've added some paint, that saffron gold color. I thought it harmonized well with the teal. This is one of 3 paintings I did. I actually did a little series here because I thought, it'd be easier to stay in the flow if I just went from one to the other as, one of them was drying or whatever. So, yeah, so I'll show you the next one and how it began. So here we have this this one. It's yeah, another similar construction with the portal in the middle and yeah, in the ruins. I'm thinking ruins, portals, someplace old, and yeah, I'm just feeling it here. So moving on again, I've added that saffron gold color to the collage, and yeah, just going with the flow here. This one got a little interesting. I didn't have quite enough teal paint left to cover it up, so I just used what I had here at the beginning. But yeah, I'm feeling the ruins, and I put several circles around. I thought these would be maybe multiple portals, but then on the left, I began to notice an image coming through, which gave me an idea, which I will show you in the next photograph. So here I realized that this left-hand object here was a fish, or began to appear as a fish to me, and I started to see these ruins in this as a underground, I mean under the water ruins, and then I started thinking about Atlantis and this golden fish that was swimming through these little portals. Some of the portals were fish eyes and fish mouths, and yeah, so it started getting interesting here, and I will show you my final results here in the end. So before I show you the final piece of this one, I thought I'd go back to the beginning and show you where it began. And here we have it, Atlantean ruins. I like the way this one came together. With the bits and pieces of Atlantis cosmically floating through the ether, whatever you want to call it. And here we have another view of Atlantis and that moon or portal that looks sort of like a baseball, but let's see where this one ends up. The gates of Atlantis. So you see the two portals there are gateways into the ruins of Atlantis. I think they were portals into the city at one time, or that's part of my story today anyway. And here we have the fish head floating around in the ruins of Atlantis. So let's see what direction this one takes. And here we have it, the Golden Guardian of Atlantis, a much different direction than I took last week with my Ireland castle ruins, and now we have the ruins of Atlantis under the sea. Very interesting. Anyway, so next up, I will show you all three of these grouped together as a collection. I wanted to add, if you're not managing a camera and trying to make a video at the same time, the timed art exercise is a really useful practice. Whether you're searching for new ideas, figuring out a composition or color palette, or trying to work through something, in my case, trying to get out of that fiddly zone, that little bit of time pressure can really help you jump into the creative zone. And remember, these don't have to be finished pieces. Just telling yourself they're exploratory takes the pressure off. Part of the magic of art is how it sometimes appears out of nowhere. And that's the part I love the most. And as promised, this is a list of what I learned in doing this 12-part art process. First of all, trust your intuition. Quick decisions are often the right ones. Overthinking kills momentum. Number 2, let go of expectations. The final result doesn't have to match what you imagined at the start. Number 3, don't be precious about your work. If something isn't working, explore a new direction instead of forcing it. Number 4, a limited color palette is freeing. Fewer color choices means more focus on composition and feeling. Number 5, stop fussing over details. The bigger picture matters more than the small stuff, especially early in the process. Number 6, constraints spark creativity. A 1-hour limit forces you to commit and move forward. Number 7, mistakes are directions, not failures. Some of the best moves came from something that went wrong. Number 8, repetition builds instinct. Doing this 12 times trained my eye and my hand in ways I didn't expect. And number 9, the process is the point. Progress shows up not just in the work, but how I approached the work. So thanks for watching and stay tuned. I'll be switching gears here in the next couple of weeks. It will be a different format, but still story to art, and hope to see you there.